Keep trekking. It's not just a channel, it's an adventure. So get your boots on and come with us. It's worth the journey, experiencing your local landscape, breathing the air this ancient land has to offer. So let's go.
Welcome to Keep Trekking. Welcome back if there's been a four. Today I'm doing a trail I've not done since 2020. About 2 weeks after I had COVID, I decided to get out and try a trek. Now, this one nearly killed me. It's not a long trail. It's about 5.5 mile, I think it is. Might even be 6. Starting here at Cubley Hall, works my way down to Underbank Reservoir, back across Manchester Road, back up towards Artcliffe Road, Artcliffe Lane, one or the other. Works my way back down through some fields, across some trails, follows part of the Barnsley Boundary Walk, and then brings me back up to Cubley Hall. I call this my Nemesis because when I first did this one back in 2020, like I've said, I was still getting over COVID and I weren't really well enough to do a trail, but I needed to get out and do a trek. I needed to stretch my legs after being in bed. I was off work for 3 weeks. I got it quite bad, to be fair. Not that I'm after sympathy or anything like that, because there's millions of people out there that's had it and still getting it, and I hope they all recover well. I struggled with it breathing wise and fatigue. I got about a mile further down and I was violently ill, and I don't know how I got back to the car. I had to sit here practically in the same spot, to be fair, for about 15 minutes before I could even turn a wheel. I don't know how I drove on, and then I remember just collapsing on the sofa and waking up sometime that evening. I was in attacking, so I've wanting to do this for a while, and I'm going to do it today. Let's get on this trail and let's conquer it, and let me get this out of my head. Let's go. So I have the lovely Cubley Hall at the back of me. Nice food and eatery place, and it's got a nice pint. So we're going to head out up towards Cubley itself, which is just at the top of here. Oh, you can hear me because the wind's picking up yet again, hasn't it? Been windy. Wow, this last few days it's been horrendous. We've got some power lines down as well, not far from where we live. Just been absolutely horrendous recently, so oh dear. Just leaving the gates of Cubley Hall, and then we shall crack on with this trail. This way, I believe. When I left Cubley Hall, so there was a public footpath that went straight across from Cubley. Now Cubley's that way, and this is obviously a public footpath. You can see it plainly from this side. From the Cubley side, there was no way I could find it, but there is some new houses just at the other crest of that hill. So I'm wondering if they've slightly diverted it somewhere down there. But anyway, we're heading up that direction. Slightly following the Penistone Boundary Walk on this bridleway, which will take us up this lane. The lane I'm on, I've just checked what it's called, and it's called Doubting Lane. Very appropriate for this trek. Yeah, we shouldn't have really done it last time. If I wanted to get out and do a trail, just to get my legs moving and try and get back fitness, I'd lost so much weight, got no energy. When I first got back out to bed after COVID, my legs wouldn't support me. I literally fell to the floor. I was struggling big time. So I needed to get out and get some treks done, get some power back in my legs and some energy. I did this one. I thought, well, it's only a local walk really. Shouldn't be too bad. But like I say, ever since then, I struggled. It's been my nemesis. But this is called Doubting Lane. Nice bit of farmland at the back of me and all around me. It's absolutely beautiful up here. It's on its doorstep as well, so I haven't had to travel far to get to here. 5 minutes, 10 minutes in a car, I'm here. It's a bit nippy today. It's supposed to be quite nice. The sun's trying to get back out again, which is good. Not liking these winds at the moment. They're a bit bad, but never mind. Looking over that way, looking over towards Roydmore Wind Farm, top side of Thurleston there, and Millhouse Green. Looking over the back of me, that's over towards Barnsley itself. They're the new houses I was talking about. You can see them in the distance that they've built. I wonder if they've diverted the trail, the public footpath, away from it. That's probably why I couldn't find it. But never mind, I've just took a little detour around the road. Well, it took me a couple of minutes, really. It's quite a long bridleway, this. It takes me up onto Artcliffe Lane or Artcliffe Road. Can't remember which one it is. It's one at the other. So as we get up to Hartcliffe Hill Road, this is called, I beg your pardon. That way is the continuation of the Penistone Boundary Walk. We've just walked up there, by the way. On Penistone Boundary Walk. Takes you that way, and obviously that way. But we're going this way. Across the road. This is now called Moseley Road, or Mosley, I think it's Moseley. My pronunciation sometimes is a bit crap, put it at least. So we cross over, and just down here that lamp post is, not lamp post, well, telegraph post. There's another lane that takes me to my right, that takes me down that direction. And then drops me down towards Underbank Reservoir. Beautiful day. That sun is gorgeous. It's warming up as well, and I'm trotting, and that way is overlooking towards Barnsley, each sen in the distance. Here we go. There we go. Up a nice, beautiful lane. Getting back onto last week's trek, me and Phil made the almighty's cardinal sin. We didn't take any food with us, any scran. We thought, oh, it's only a wee trek really, we'll be alright. Massive mistake. So we got plenty of water, that was one thing that we did have, but we didn't take any scran with us, any food, and that's just a no-no. I never do it, never ever go out trekking without having something in my rucksack. backpack. But last week we did, and we suffered big time. So if you're going out trekking or anywhere for a walk, make sure you've got 2 things: water and food, because you need them. We had no energy, we were spent, and we still had that river crossing to do, and then get back to the car, and then I had to drive back. I don't know how I did it. Stupid thing to do, stupid mistake. I'll not be making that mistake again. Absolutely crazy. Always take food and drink. And I don't mean alcoholic beverage neither. Wow. What a view. What a view. Looking down onto the reservoirs at the bottom there. One's Broomhead, which I believe could possibly be that one, and the other one's Langsy, which is definitely that one. Pennines, that's where we were last week, top of this somewhere. Today, walking down here through the farm and then drop through a wee wood. Will take me down to Manchester Road and Langsy, Underbank Reservoir. Looking over down into Middup, that's the Yield Mustard Pot pub. Serves some lovely meals in there. That's Middup Stones, or Middup Stones if you like. Locals call it Middup. It's nice food and pint in there. That what you see at the back of it is the old squirrel, and then the wee house just to the right is the old squirrel house. It's not a big village, but it's a nice quaint one. Nice wee wild camping spot that. Pretty flat. Nice. So, I didn't even know this trail existed, to be fair. So then I saw a white car further back and a bloke get out and take his dog. So I went that direction. I thought, where's he going? So I followed him up and then I saw this trail. Didn't even know it was here, but it beats me walking on that Manchester Road there at the side of it, doesn't it? And this is the trail I need to be on. So what a beautiful, beautiful trail. So nice, so peaceful. Well, not peaceful because it's main road, but beautiful. So far the trail has been easy. I know I've got to work my way back up the hill and hopefully not meet any cows this time. Last time I came I got halfway up the banking, I was absolutely shattered, obviously just getting over COVID like I said, and I got halfway up the hillside and where I wanted to be with the stile was a row of cows and they all lined up. I'm not kidding you now, they all lined up and they looked at me and I thought, they're going to charge, not to get over at stile, obviously that's free, but you know what I mean, are they going to charge? And I thought, I don't like this. And they sort of like walked forward all in one, like one of them Mexican standoffs at cowboys, you know what I mean? Okay, Corral. And all that malarkey. And tripping over branches. And I thought, I don't like this. So I scooted to the field, went over the fence and went through woods and back round and come out a bit further up. Walked across a bit of private land. I don't like doing that, but hey ho, I'd rather have that than 24 cows trampling all over me head. But anyway, I'm just ranting, beautiful. But this is just a gorgeous trail, gorgeous path. I'm loving this. I feel great. I didn't feel too good yesterday evening. I've got spondylitis or spondylosis, something, whatever it's called, in my neck and shoulders. So I do suffer. The only time I ever feel okay is when I've got a backpack on. It seems to straighten me up. But I do suffer when I take it off. Gives me a... Anyway, I started with neck yesterday afternoon. Well, late afternoon to be fair. And then I thought I felt it turning into a bit of a migraine. And... so I didn't feel too craving, so I thought, hope I'm feeling better today. That's a nice use of railway sleepers. I like that. I do like that. And I thought, well, I'll show you the reservoir, which is now full. Wasn't that long since they were empty. You could actually see the river running through the bottom. And at the top end, where Mid Stones gets its name from, the old stepping stones are still there, and you could see them as well. Anyway, what was I saying? You know, I can't remember. Oh yeah, last night I didn't feel too good. I thought it was turning to a migraine this, but it didn't. I managed to take some tablets and it sort of eased it, and it went off. I put some cream on my neck, some ibuprofen, and that seemed to ease that a wee bit as well. So all's good, and I'm out today. This trail is absolutely beautiful. Reminds me of Transpennine. Bit better, I think. And it's local. I never knew this were here. But it's a Don Valley Trail. Liking it though. Well, that's another tripod broke. Wonderful. So, back to hand holding, just had to order a new one. Make trailers and things, I think, for us boxers. That company there. Oh, I can't believe that. I was going to adjust in the neck there and it snapped off. No point gluing it because it's a vulnerable part and it'll only snap. So I've had to order a new one, coming tomorrow. Hey, I don't know. What can I do? A little bit of information about what this little trail was. It's a Lancet railway line. When they were building the reservoirs in 1897 and 1898. And there was a locomotive that ran on it. Unfortunately now, I'm going to have to go back onto the main road and just follow the Manchester road for a little while. Not too far really, just for a wee while, and then pick a trail that takes me back up through them woods up there. Just excuse me, I'm just finishing a bit of cathedral cheese off. Cathedral City cheese. These are the cheeses available. Just left the main road. Now I'm doing my ascent. I think that's what you call it when you're going uphill. Through these little bit of woods. I do love woods. Absolutely adore them. Those that follow the channel will know that I do love walking through woods. There's something very surreal, very tranquil about walking through woods, especially if you're on your own and the sun's out and there's no leaves on the trees. That makes it quite nice. There's some leaves starting to blossom on some trees, I see. It's been very mild, hasn't it? Maybe they're getting confused. I do excuse me if I do get my hands or fingers in the way at some point, because I'm hand holding this now, unfortunately. I'm absolutely gutted, but I've ordered a new, it's not a tripod gimbal though, like the last one was. It's just basically it's a tripod with a thing that you put your phone on or whatever, GoPro, whatever you're using on top, and then I'm just going to have to use it as arm length. So if I do get my fingers in the way, I do apologise, but it's absolutely beautiful now. The sun's proper out, it's warm. It's about 11 degrees, which is warm for this time of year. But soon I shall be coming up to the field where the cows were. That's I don't like beasties. I don't like beasties. Not to walk through fields with anyway. Not my favourite of animals. They're dangerous for a start, especially if they've got calves. So we take a wee drink, get further up here, get to the wall where the field starts and have some scran. Then again I might get up to the top of that field and then have my scran, because I don't want to be doing banging up at a field like that when I've just eaten. It's so lovely, it's peaceful. Can't even eat main road now, it's gorgeous up here. So I'm going to have a wee drink and I'll see you up at further up in woods. See you in a bit. Right, that is steeper than it looks, and that is a hill that nearly did me last time. So I'm going out nice and steady and hope there's no cows at top. Let's get over this stile first. Wow, about 3/4 of the way up. Just thought I'd stop for 2 seconds and zoom in. That's Stocksbridge, well, the top end of it anyway. You can see the sports centre there, and then what we call Toy Town or Unsliven or top end, whatever you want to call it, and Whitwell Moors over at the back. As like I say, that's steeper than it looks, honestly. See how I have climbed now, and that's Stocksbridge, that's Underbank Reservoir. Imagine if that went. Wow, I'm thinking about panning over to ours deep, but you can't see it, it's just the other side of the hill. It's absolutely beautiful up here. Well, I think I'm going to sit down on this stone for a bit and have some scran with my view. Ain't half bad, is it? So happy I've done that. Wow, and I feel great. I honestly do feel excellent. Just got this field to cross, then I'm back onto the main road, which is at Artcliffe Lane, or what do you call it, Moseley. That's part of Moseley that runs down back towards Stocksbridge, and then I'll be breaking off down towards Oxspring, and then cutting back across some fields and back down towards bottom end of Cubley and then back up. Absolutely loving it. I'm so happy I've done this today. Conquered one of my fears, not fears but a nemesis as I called it. We wanted to do this one for ages, but just couldn't get my head around it. I've done a lot harder trails than this, but this is the one that did me. Like I say, I was just getting over COVID, and I just got no energy, and I shouldn't have done it really. Should have just gone right, walk around my block until I got some energy back. But me being me, stubborn Jay, that's the McGregor in me, decided, you'll be right. Get yourself into a decent trail. Not advisable. So I'm going to sit here for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, have some scran, admire the views, and just chill. So I'll catch you when I set back off. What a view. Well, that was a nice, enjoyable ham and mustard sandwich. That'll run them for a wee while. So I'm just going to have a couple more minutes here, enjoy the view. Beautiful sunshine, sheltered from the wind at the back of this wall, which is better. It's really warm actually, it's quite nice. Quite enjoying this winter weather. I'm sure winters were like this, so truly. You get the backpack back on, say that when you're drunk. It's hard enough saying it when you're sober. Scale this wee wall and over the field and onto the road and back down to where everyone started in a roundabout way. So see you in a few minutes. actually quite pleasantly surprised about that last bit of field. I expected it to be a lot more boggy than it were, and the mud that were churned up was actually hard, like it was usually in summer. So I'm quite pleasantly surprised that it weren't lovely to walk on. And it ain't mucking me boots. Well, it has, but it is still winter, I suppose, isn't it? Right, we're just going to go walking on top row now, Moseley, I think this is called. Unless it changed its name further back, I don't know. Just let this car go. And that's all, sorry. Cranberry Road, this is called Cranberry. Changed its name that many times, this bit of road, it's unreal. So this is Cranberry Road. We're going to turn off shortly and down towards Oxspring. But we're not actually going as far down as that. We're going to cut off across some fields before we get there. It's a very busy road, as you can see, this one, because it's the main road from Stocksbridge to Penistone. So it's a very, very busy road. I do apologise if my finger keeps getting in the way. Like I say, I am hand holding this now, which is doing me head in a wee bit. But there we go. There's not a lot I can do. So busy this road, it's unreal. So it's a country lane. Well, it's not really a lane, is it? But you know what I mean. It's not a main road in the middle of the city or the town. But unless it does lead from two small towns together, Penistone and Stocksbridge. So I'll be turning off in a minute. I'll catch you when I get onto the next road. This road I'm walking on is called Back Lane, and the whole area over that side is called Snowdon Hill Common. That's nice wee property. But this is called Back Lane. You can see the very distance there, if I zoom in a wee bit. That's Barnsley Town. So, like I said, this is Back Lane. So I'm going to be leaving Back Lane now, across a few fields, drop down towards where Penistone is at the bottom. I don't go as far as that though, you can see it. I don't go as far as Penistone, and then I back up some lanes, back up towards Cubley. Wind's picking up again. Yeah, that wind's picking up, but hopefully I'll be okay. Well, I'm going to be okay anyway, I'm not going to blow away. Not in my belly. Starting to cloud over a wee bit as well. You can see it current there with some clouds over it. It's not as sunny as it was. I don't think there's going to be any rain. If there is, hopefully I'll be back before then. I'm well over halfway, about 3/4 of the way around it. Absolutely loving this. I'm so happy I've come out to do this today. Like I said before, my Nemesis, I'm conquering you, guy. You'll not beat me. Not a massive hard trail by no means. I've done a lot worse, done a lot harder. Last week was proper harder compared to this, proper sketchy. This, it's not been sketchy. What can I say? It's not sketchy, not yet. Look at that current bun. Not yet, anyway. I'm not saying it's not going to be further down. If I remember, I've got a few fields when I'm climbing back up towards Cubley. If I can remember, the fields can get a bit sludgy, but as today suggested, what you would imagine was sludgy is actually hard. So I don't know what's happening this year. It's been absolutely amazing, the weather we've had for winter. We've had wind, one lot of snowfall, which if you can call it that, I'm going to crack on because I'm waffling. Oh, I'm excited, I'm buzzing that I'm doing this. I'm going to be so happy later when I finish this trail. So happy. I'm not sure what this place is. It's like some sort of training centre. Yeah, wee Wendy house there, look. No idea what that is. Can't be a squirrel, surely not. No idea. That's nice to see in winter. Lovely wee flowers. Nice. I honestly hope you can hear me with this wind. Just come out of the junction of Long Lane and Oxspring Lane, the back of me. I'm going to be going up Oxspring Lane and then I'm going to be cutting off down the farmer's track. Wow, let me turn around. Down the farmer's track, and then it'll bring me down to a public footpath that'll take me back up to Cubley Hall. So I've nearly conquered this one, guys. Ho ho ho, am I buzzing. Medic! That's nice. Wet river in background. Beautiful that. Just leaving Oxspring Road now. I'm going down Thicket Lane, which will bring me down to a farm, then a public footpath that will take me back up towards Cubley Hall. So, not far off, what, half a mile, quarter of a mile maybe now, quarter of a mile I'd say, back to the car. Woo, it's getting cold. So now I'm going to leave this lane. We've just come up that way, by the way, that direction. We're going to go back up these fields all the way back up to Cubley. This is also part of the Penistone boundary walk that you do. So this part is, you can either start this way, go this way, I think it goes that direction, around Penistone that way, or you can go finish here. But that's where I'm going, over them stones, and then up that field where they're walking down, and practically straight up. About here is where I was ill last time. I came up here and I think I leant against this wall, and I was pretty ill, let's say. Just wait for these to come down, excuse me fingers, and then we'll head off up. Well, unfortunately, I did film an ending to that video, but my microphone was switched off. So I'm going to have to do the ending now. Like I said, it was an absolute blast. I such enjoyed it. I was so happy when I'd finished. I was absolutely buzzing. I've conquered my Nemesis. I don't have to do that one again now. I'm so happy and I'm really relieved that I've done it. Unfortunately, I'm finishing the video in my bedroom. I did finish it in the car park once I got back to Cubley. But when I come to edit the video, like I said, my microphone was switched off. So I'm having to do it here. So, it was just short of 6 miles. If you'd have seen my face when I'd finished, I was absolutely buzzing. Proper buzzing, big time. So anyway, I'm going to end the video like I should end the video, like I normally end the videos. So I'm going to say, I'll see you next time. J-Art, keep trekking, and trek on. What can I say? I better check my microphone next time. It is what it is. Catch you later, guys.